The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
One step closer, you got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you want to be in life. Why? You got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you want to be in life. Take one step at a time to reach your goals. Ooh.
Hey y'all, welcome to One Step Closer with Shani Shan. I am your host, and we have another great show for you here today. Thank you all for tapping in and rocking with me here at the table at 1 p.m. One Step Closer, just want to iterate, One Step Closer is just that, just getting one step closer to your dreams, your goals, your daily aspirations, just being a better you, just taking one day at a time and just getting one step closer. So I encourage you on today that you can do that as well. Get one step closer. And yeah, I am here rocking with you. And we do definitely want to introduce our guest for today. This is more so like family than guest. She is an amazing woman. She is a visionary leader. She is a community advocate. So we definitely want to give a warm welcome to the one and only Mama Shu.
Thank you, Shani Shan.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming. It is so amazing. It's such a pleasure having you on today. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be on.
Yes, thank you. One step closer. So, Mama Shu, I am going to first introduce the topic, and I feel like that'll kind of go right into your story, your journey, and then we'll have you introduce yourself. So, the topic for today is going to be turning pain into purpose and building hope one block at a time. So, we're going to let Mama Shu definitely dive into her story, and what she's doing and what's coming up and how she has changed the lives of many.
All right. Yes. So thank you. You're
welcome.
I sent the bio, so I don't know if that'll help. But,
yes.
But yeah, I'm glad to be here amongst family again. And thank you for this opportunity. So yeah, I'm Mama Shu, the founder and CEO of Avalon Village. And basically we're in Highland Park, Michigan. And we are transforming one of a very blighted block, used to be, and notorious actually, into a very safe space for community and for families. It's called Avalon Village. And we're transforming blight to beauty and been doing it for 16 years. We've been over there 16 years. Actually, last year just celebrated our Street 16. So we had a big old celebration in the street. Yeah, it was really a wonderful time. And folks came over and even like donors and volunteers and everybody who helped to make that happen came and celebrated with us last September. So yeah, that's what, and then among that, I am a mother and, like you said, an activist. I've done a few things. I used to be the charter commission for the city of Highland Park, the president of the commission, and we rewrote the charter. Well, we revised it from 1968. It hadn't been revised, so we did some revisions. 2018, we got those revised, and I was a police officer too. Yeah, for 6 years, and the first lady chaplain for the Highland Park Police Department.
How did that come about? Where was the purpose behind that?
So yeah, I was a reserve for 6 years. So how that came about, period. I am a minister since 2001. So I do Mary, Barry, I do all of that. That's part of my job and stuff too. Yeah, and so basically, but it did actually come out of tragedy to want to do that job. And so when my first son, Jacoby, when he got hit by a car, hit and run driver in Highland Park on Rhode Island Street in 2007, and I remember the children, when they came to tell me to let me know that it happened, I was at my my job, my own business, the Black Hole at the time, and the Goddess Marketplace, and we were off of Woodward. The kids ran up and told me what happened and everything, and then I went off to the hospital and everything. But in between then, when that happened and the police came, there was no immediate relief from like chaplains and everything. And I wondered about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, where everybody's screaming and just, they don't even know what to do and how to maintain themselves. And is there any care after that, with law enforcement? And so then I just started looking into it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's great.
And then and that's how I became, and they actually created a chaplain course. And so I went through it with 2 other ministers at that time. And then, and I was the only lady there. And so it was 3 of us, and I graduated, and boom, there it was.
I think that's such a good thing for you to be able to give others what you wanted at that time. So I think that's very special, and it speaks a lot to your character as well. So that is so good. So I know as far as the Goddess Place, that is a place that I've visited. I do love the inside of that. Is very holistic, very spiritual. So what was the push behind that, the Goddess Market?
The Goddess Marketplace?
Yes.
Okay. So the push behind the Goddess Marketplace, years ago, back in 2001, I started a program. It was called Project Goddess, a community healing through nurturance center. So basically, it was a program where we initiated women who wanted to come along for self-healing. And so we did this call out for women like, hey, you want to do this goddess work, this inner work. And so I know that I'm doing that, trying to be aware and stay up on top of my spiritual work and all of that, and heal from things and work on things. And I'm like, you know what? Let's see who else want to do it.
Nice.
And so I started, I guess you would call it like a cohort. And so 9 of us went through a year long of training that I developed over the years with different classes, different healing modalities, different disciplines that we had to do for a whole year. And then it culminated itself into a ceremony called On This Day I Will Marry My Soul. And so we had a ceremony that the women that were in the program, Project Goddess, that they were committed that 1 year of inner work. And then at that, the last day, it was in July on a full moon, actually. And we had our ceremony. And so that was just to signify that we are working. We are the mothers of humanity. We are here to help heal ourselves and help to heal our spaces around us, the neighborhoods, and whatever it is that we touch. And so this was their calling, and that's what their job was, and we knew that. And so that's and nice. After that I did 2 other cohorts after that. So there are approximately 15 of us who went through.
Nice.
Yep.
That is so good. And that kind of brings me to my point of you wanting to change the areas that you are in, that you frequent, and that you are around. I think that is so amazing, because a lot of people will go, elsewhere and try to build that environment up. But you wanted to stay grounded and build your environment up and be just surrounded by community and love and things like that. Stuff like that is definitely amazing. And shout out to you and everything that is going on at the Avalon Village. It is so inviting. Literally, when you go there, you feel a sense of peace. I've been there. My team has been there. We've done a lot of things with Mama Shu, a lot of events that we've hosted live. So you definitely just feel the love and the presence when you are at the Avalon Village. So thank you for creating that space, and a safe space at that.
Sure.
Yes, in a safe space. So did you see the Avalon Village kind of getting to this point? Like, how was it when you first started, and now how do you see Avalon Village?
So when I first started building Avalon Village, and for those out there that don't know what Avalon Village is, it's an eco village in the making. So we've redesigning one whole block. We purchased the whole block a little bit at a time, and we have things like the homework house, the Goddess Marketplace that we spoke about. We have a basketball court, and it's ran by. We have solar street lights. Our businesses are made out of shipping containers, so it's a space like that, a big community space. And so when I thought about it, basically I wanted to help heal Highland Park. That's what it was. Like,
Yes.
okay, look. And I'm sitting on the porch looking at my block, looking just totally toe up from the flow up. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live like this, and I know how blight and trash and all of that could really make a person feel.
Definitely.
It could bring you down and makes you feel hopeless. And it's so much of it, you just feel really overwhelmed.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, where to start?
Exactly.
So my crazy self was like, you know what? I'm going to start with this block. And I don't know what I was thinking when I thought about it, because I swear it's funny now just thinking about it, but I never thought that it would be like this. I mean, you have a vision of something and it's just almost something more beautiful than you thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what I'm like, whoa, this is what it is. Like, this is what it was working towards, even through every single thing that happens to you on the way there.
Yes.
It's like, oh my goodness. So it just was all worth it, actually.
That journey.
It is. It's a whole piece. People try to do things so fast.
Yes.
You can't, it ain't even worth it if it's coming to you fast.
It's not, because you have to think the maintaining of what you have acquired is a big deal too. You can get it, but maintaining it is good. And throughout that journey, you pick up different tools or different habits or just things that'll help you along the way to be able to get you to that end result. But you have to do the work, and you have to do that self-work in between as well. So you do. And I look at it now, building now, it's been 16 whole years now. Nice.
And I sit back and I'm like, whoa. You know, like
16 years.
Yeah, and before, and I'm gonna tell you, when you off into the work, I wasn't thinking about it like, oh, this is just, you just doing like your work every single day and everything. And so lately I have been reflecting though. Some folks have asked me like, Mama Shu, did you think this was going to be like this? And I'm like, let me sit down and think about it. And no, I didn't.
Exactly.
Because see, I just wanted to clean up the lot next to my house.
And that was your purpose.
I just wanted to pick up the trash and seriously. And so it just kind of snowballed into something really beautiful and big and infectious.
Yes. So what are some of the key milestones and or breakthroughs that you've had just dealing with the community, Avalon Village? How was that?
Some of the breakthroughs, one of the breakthroughs that I think that we help to cultivate by building the village and doing the work is that you can really do it too.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, y'all can get up and clean up your own lot, and you can buy a piece of land and you can put this on your land. You can add this, you can put a basketball court, you can do a flower garden or an urban garden, and just also help folks know that you could actually go buy land and just do something, period. Not even put it, but actually just make the move to where you can get multiple properties and really do something. Sometimes people think that is so untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, so, like what? Buying land? Like, that's just like a real, real big thing. And so I'm just really proud to say that a lot of folks that actually saw what we were doing. And I'm going to say some of my younger baby sisters, I call them, and just even brothers and stuff, they come and they see and they talk to me about it. And some of them have done some of the things that I exactly like. This is just do A, B, and C, a couple of, and they've done it their own way. But here's how I did it.
Okay.
You can,
That's
of course
good.
you're going to change it how you want to change it. But here's some of the basic things that I kind of did it, And so to see them, and to see their spaces and everything that they're actually doing is, it's just a lot of fun seeing it, boy. And it's exciting.
I know it has to be.
Is.
Literally, they're taking your vision, adding their own twist to it, and then giving it back to you. And you're seeing something grow so beautifully from it. So I know that must be exciting. All of the events I absolutely love going to at the Avalon Village. So can we get into a little bit about the CNN Hero top 10 list that you were, in? Can we kind of touch on that a little bit?
We can talk about that. So in 2003, I was one of the top 10 finalists. I was a CNN hero. I was 10 of them. So I'm like, shoot, being top 10 or anything or whatever is good.
Yes.
You know, that's how I was appreciating it.
Yes.
Like, this is so cool. But got a chance to go to New York with other change makers from all over the country, and got a chance to see, fellowship with them. And I mean, we had field trips and we ate together, and we had our classes and everything. And so all of us were on stage and we all won.
Nice.
It just was so wonderful. Like all 10 of us standing up there. So I'm in the cohort of 2023,
nice.
And so they've had 2024 heroes and they're about to go into their 2025s.
Exactly.
But that was a lot of fun. It was an honor.
Yes.
We went and spent time with Anderson Cooper, was the person that was the host of everything. And so, yeah, we got a good, it was good. And we were able to get some funding or whatever to help further our
Nice.
own projects, and everybody had different projects of different levels and everything. So that was a good experience.
That is good. I think that is a great experience to have, and the fact that you were recognized. I feel like that is important because sometimes work can go unnoticed, but all of the work that you do, the efforts and things that you put into just to be recognized, not only locally, but just worldwide is an amazing feeling. So I'm so glad that...
I want to add one thing about the CNN Heroes piece too, is that years ago, I had gotten a call from the same producer that called me. Yes, I love her.
It was meant
Megan.
to be.
Her name was Megan. And so she called me, and so the Village wasn't, it was all developing, but it just wasn't developed as was in 2023. Even now in 2025, it's more developed than 2023.
Right. It just continued to grow.
And so when they called me several years before the 2023, they asked me some questions and stuff. So they were like, okay, so I guess they came back, and it was like 7 years later. 7 years later. And this is why we should stick to things,
Yes.
Because, and so when they came back, I had more and more receipts to even show of my work. And it was really something to really, really be a CNN hero more and more for. So
yes, delay does not mean denial. So
right,
I think that
exactly.
Like you said, just stick with things. I feel like, and that's another thing. A lot of people are quick to just throw things away or not, or prematurely go into things. Sometimes it's okay to take your time, let the whole vision play out, and you saw greatness come from it. Like you said, you had even more receipts to show them, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's growing, and now is the time. So I feel like everything happens when it should and at the right time. So
that's right.
Yes. So is there any advice, Mama Shu, that you would give to people that are listening, that want to maybe make a change or just be one step closer to maybe their goals and or their dreams?
I would have, so is the show an hour?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I do have 3 things that I wanted to say, because a lot of people, and just like you said, and I always say these 3 things because this is just what I discovered. So maybe it would work with some other people. The first thing is that don't ever think that you have to have the money to do a thing. Okay.
That's big.
Yeah. A lot of people think that, oh my God, I got to have this and I have to have that and this amount of money. And they even ask me, so what grants did you get started? I'm like, grants?
Exactly.
What? I'm like, we just started to get those now real good,
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to do something, you're going to do it. You're going to make sure that you do it. You're going to make sure that you have the funding to do it. Even if it's what we did, sold fish sandwiches, we got donations, folks dropped stuff off on the porch. Like, here,
but you made it happen.
We made it happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter the quantity of people that was there.
Yes.
If we had 3 or more to come to a camp, hey, we're going to do it. The next year will grow and the next year will grow.
Yes,
so
quality over quantity.
I would never, I would say that don't ever think that you have to have the passion, the discipline. You have to have those things and the focus. And you really have to have it deep down in your heart, like, man, this is what I want to do no matter what.
Yes.
See, that be the thing, no matter what.
No matter what.
The second thing is that I never had a plan B.
I think that
always
is so
have
good.
plan A. Plan A is my thing to stick on.
It has to work.
Period. Exactly. That's how I'm always
it has
figuring.
to work.
And it
That's
be the
good.
craziest stuff. My friends be like, shoot. I'm like, no, we're going to just stick with this and that's it. Now, plan B, because see what happens is that plan B, you're sitting up here thinking about, oh, plan A may not work. You going on to plan B, starting to plan and think about that. And it's distracting.
Yes.
And it's distracting because you may not feel that you can pull it off. You know what I'm saying? May not feel secure enough in it. But I say stick with it.
Yeah.
There may be variations because things happen in life. Like I said, things go on. Part of your journeys is some stuff that may stop it for a minute, or you may have to have some attention to it, and then you go forward. But yeah, always stick to plan A.
Yeah, because plan B can turn into a plan C, and before you know it, it's just like, okay, well,
you done talked yourself out of it.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think that I have to even work on that too, because I'm like, okay, I feel like I always have to have a plan B just in case, just as a safety net.
Yes.
But I can see how that would be distracting, because now I'm not focused on plan A solely, because now I'm like, okay, well, let me just put a little bit in plan B just in case plan A don't work out in its entirety. So
I think that plan B, if people do, like, you thinking about a plan B, it should be something for growth and something that is going to add to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
make it align.
Okay, then, yeah, to make it align. You know it's going to happen, and you got to give yourself grace just in case. But it's the main thing. Plan A is the main thing. There's different variations to make it happen, and then the last thing is to have no fear.
That is good.
The last thing is to have no fear.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of things that we go through in our lives, a lot of things that I've had some things that have happened that have, like the last thing with my son, Chinyelu, he was murdered in 2021, 1/26/21, and he was 23 years old. That was the only, and as it relates to having no fear, I had two other sons that got killed too. My Jacoby, that I named a park after, he was 2 years old, 2 years, 1 month, and 6 days old to be exact. And he was hit by a hit and run driver. And then my bonus son, he was killed in 2015. I did his funeral. And then my Chinyelu was killed in, like I said, in 2021. And so to me, that is a parent's worst nightmare. It's a fear. And of course, when you become a parent, you think about like, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to live without my kids. And if this happened and that happened. And so it actually happened to me.
Yeah.
And it happened over again.
Yeah. And that's one thing in life, we don't ever prepare for things to go wrong or to go bad. We always think it's, supposed to just go good. And then when life hits us, that's when we're like, oh, we really see how strong we really are.
We really see how strong we really are. And when that happened, it's like, okay, so when the worst thing happened to me as a person, a parent, and everything, so everything else, I'm really fearless and invincible. It's like, what else can really happen to me? Nothing. And so when people think about, people do things and things happen or whatever, they try to break you, and I'm already broken in a million pieces. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so what else can happen? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about, and so basically I walk through my life having no fear about anything. I'm not afraid of anybody, and they need to be afraid of me. No, I'm just kidding.
Say help the bear. So with that, with taking the grief and turning it into purpose and passion, was that the initial thought process that you had after the loss of your sons, or is that something that just grew and developed? Is there a village that kind of backed you on that, or what was that kind of support system like at that time?
So when all of that happened, and specifically I'll say when Jacoby, because that was in 2007 when that happened. He was born in 2005, Marcus Garvey's birthday, August 18th. 17th. But so when that happened, a lot of people think that, so you just, you did that, and that right there, that pain came out of all of that. Well, I was already seeing neighborhoods that wasn't looking right.
Okay.
I was also blessed to have elders, and some of them are ancestors now, who did the type of work that I actually do. And so basically, this is what we were charged to do, being up under them. Like, this is what you do. Help to do your neighbor. You do your service work. This is what you do.
Yes.
And so that right there, all of that was already in my blood to really do. So when I came over to the block to live, I knew I was already on purpose as far as where I was going to go and how I was going to, and basically in my head, plans in my head. And so when that happened, that work really is as it relates to transforming pain into power and grief into glory. and all of that, and loss into love, is that it's healing. That's the thing. So when stuff like that happen to you in life and different things, it's like, it's good to have something that you can actually do and already have a purpose.
Yes.
I think that sometimes, unfortunately, when these kind of devastating things happen to people, it's like they either go up under a rock, and so rightfully so with some of them, and that's how they actually work it out. Some people and some people can't work it out.
That's true.
For real. Some people just, they do. Some people never, and it's something not to get over, but it's hard to manage. And so they have difficulties managing tragedies such as that, and so it was something for me to do, to keep busy and to keep, and I had to stay on task. And so those was one of those things that's in your whole journey of life that actually happened. And it was something that I had to, and I am still, because there's nothing that goes away. You just work through it. But I wanted to do the village. I wanted to do my work bad enough.
Yes.
That's the thing.
No matter what.
Yeah, it was a no matter what type thing. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm doing. And
it was already in you, like you said.
It was already in me to do so. And so also I've created shrines for each of my sons, named a basketball court, my three sons' basketball court, Invincible Gardens, named after Chinyelu, beautiful flower garden, Jacoby Ra Park, named after Jacoby, a camp, music camp that we got going on, actually, that's getting ready to start in June, the 9th year of, it's called Sunboy Records Music Camp, named by his name. So that's to keep it going.
I think that is so great, and I think people do get stuck at the point of when tragic things happen in life, it does make certain people shut down, but that's when I feel like you need to just keep going harder, find that purpose, find that reasoning, find that why as to just why it happened, and just change the trajectory of it being sad, but it can actually be helpful. And like you said, healing, not only to yourself, but to others, because others look at your story, they gain inspiration. They feel like they can push on, they can do it because life happened, but it was how you handled it. So I definitely commend you, Mama Shu.
Thank you. And I do want to say this thing, like when it happened with Chinyelu, that right there did kind of set me back a minute, and in my thought process, because I'm like, you know what, that was and it was fleeting too. It was very fleeting. I'm like, you know what, I'm just sick of this. Yeah, I swear to God, I was like, what's going on? Yeah, and I was like, what is going on with this whole experience of me and throughout my whole journey and everything? I'm like, what's really going on? And then I remember when Jacoby became an ancestor, that was already then years later. So I'm like, I'm like, do God think I'm a hard body or something up in here?
I'm his toughest soldier. Yeah,
that's what I'm sitting up here thinking, like, what's going on with that? And so when that came, that was just something to, like you said, process. Yes. And I was already familiar with that whole process and everything, which didn't make it any better. Right. Because I was able to live life with Chinyelu for 23 years, and just be involved or whatever with him. And it was, and everything, and just have him working side by side with me in the village and everything. So that right there made it a little tougher. But as you see, I'm still sticking with it. And it's 4 years later after that. Yep.
That is so good. So Mama Shu, so speaking of Avalon Village, I know that you do have a few things that are coming up. Do you mind going in depth about those and, sharing with the people?
Sure. So one thing that we have coming up that I'm very proud of, the 9th annual Sunboy Records Music Camp. It is our 9th annual one, Music of the Resistance. Participants will explore how music impacts change no matter what genre. Students will learn music theory, instrumentation, vocal skills, and more. So that camp is from June the 23rd to July the 25th, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., ages 10 to 18, free lunch. They have their meditation class in the morning. And we have, and also the director is our Mike Mumford, music camp director. He's done it for 9 years. Me and him partnered up and said, you know what, we want to bring that to the community. And so Mike is he's doing interviews and essays, and they're and it's only $50.
That is that's great. You can't beat that.
And then on the back, we have Hood Camp Urban Survival for Today's Youth. That's August the 29th through the 31st. We've doing that 15 years. This is our 15th year.
That is so good. Consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Yes.
And so the kids basically, they have we transform the village into a camp ground. And so we have like 30 children pitching their tents. They're learning all types of emergency preparedness skills. We have the fire department of Highland Park and the police department come and, do a session with them. We have B. Anthony with Get Ready, Stay Ready, Solidarity. A lot of our partners, they come through. Everything is free for that weekend. They get a solar backpack. They get a solar backpack. They get a first aid kit, a survival kit. They get a sleeping bag. They get all of this when they actually survive in the hood after the whole weekend. So excited about that.
Yes.
And then we have something too. And I thought I grabbed the wrong flyer, but I can get that to y'all. Don't worry about it.
Please.
But it's called Camp Avalon. So Camp Avalon, we have 8 camps. Okay, the 2 signature camps is the music camp and the hood camp. Those are our longest running camps. But Camp Avalon is 8 experience camps is what we call them. So there's Blight to Beauty Boot Camp. There's Imhotep STEAM camp. We also have Fashion 101 camp, Camp Fabulous, and Camp Fantastic. That's for the girls and for the boys. We have it's called Dollars and Cents Money Camp. So we have all of these camps until the children, and they're 1 week only. And so they don't all run at one time. So the parents are able to, it's like 2 that may run at the same time. So parents can kind of pick and choose which ones they want their children to go to. So I'm excited about that. And so registration is that you can go to the website at www.theavalonvillage.org for that. And then we have the Mama's Day Bazaar. That is Saturday. So that is May the 10th. And it is from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Candles, incense, oils, bath and body products, clothing, wine and tea baskets. We have Chef Z, sounds by DJ Tone. Chef Z will be selling some delicious food there. So we'll just be chilling it on the block.
That sounds so good.
And we have that every year too.
Nice. And I love the concepts of the camps. I love how it teaches just kids the essentials of life, how to survive. A lot of core classes has been taken out of, or electives has been taken out of schools, so they don't have those resources. Parents may not have the time, or they may not have the village that's backing them. So I definitely think that the hood camps and just the camp overall and having different ones is definitely essential. So thank you for that, Mama Shu. I do want to definitely take time to read a few of the comments.
Okay.
Richard said, good afternoon.
Hi, Richard.
Misha said, what up, though? Calvin said, dope for the community. Todd said, that's so fire. And he also said, the plan B is to make the plan A work. So like you were saying, just take a little bit of time to, make sure that plan B aligns with plan A.
Yeah.
So that is good. Okay. So I have a little rapid fire as far as questions here for you, Mama Shu.
Yes, fire.
In the hot seat.
Okay, here we go.
He's like, let's get it. Okay. So what's one step you took this year that made a difference?
One step that I took this year that made a difference.
Yes.
I actually am I'm actually collaborating with some people outside of who I normally collaborate with.
Okay, and that's big.
It is. It's big. It's a whole trusting type thing.
Yes.
The village is going to another level, and it's like, okay, it ain't the baby that it used to be. 16 whole years. So now it's like this teenager and stuff. So it's like, okay. And so it's amazing that a lot of people that are actually coming and saying, okay, we're interested in this, here's what, just trying to lift it up to where we're able to take more blessings in.
And
so I see that happen. So, I'm a little shaky and vulnerable or whatever there, but that's it.
Yeah, I know you're in good hands. They got you. And like you said, it's big on you just being able to open up and trust, because you know that the Avalon Village is going to higher levels, so you want to be able to align with that.
Exactly.
So, yes, that is good. Okay, so who's someone or a group that helped you take a step forward?
Someone that helped me take a step forward. I really got to say, and really to take chances and stuff, I got to say my husband.
Okay, that is good.
No, he is.
The
I swear to God, that Sagittarius. Yeah, he'd be like, shoot, because sometimes I'm, I like, it's a certain thing, and then he just kind of makes it go. look at this right here. I'm like, oh, okay then. And then I'm like, dang, it really worked. So now I listen to him a little more.
That's good to have that support system. That is so good to have that support system.
I'm a wife that listens to certain things, especially when stuff be working. I'm like, okay,
good.
That works. What else you got? That's what I'd be like, babe, what's going on right now? I'd be reporting to him, asking him stuff like what they talking about. Look.
That's good. I love that you're able to trust him. He's able to help you and just have that support. And I feel like that's what we need along with our journey is that support, because you, like you said, you see a certain thing, but he may have his spin on it, and now we're creating a magical experience, not only for you guys, but for the community as well. So I feel like that is great. Okay, so what is one thing you wish more people understood about community work?
One thing I think that people should know about community work is that it's not for the faint at heart. It's really not. You really gotta want to do this. You really gotta love your work. Because I was just like, this nonprofit stuff, like, bro,
it's not for the weak.
Oh my goodness, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But and then you always think it's so easy, and for them not to think that everything is so instantaneous. What you want to do in community work is that you want to grow and develop with the community that you're in. You don't want to just be like, oh, I'm up here, I'm going to put this right here.
Yes.
You have to invest actual time. So we've been doing this 16 years.
Yes.
And we've been doing the same thing over and over again. And that's what some communities need to see. They need to see consistency.
Yes.
They need to see some people that's sticking and staying and like, we're doing this. Here we are, and we're still here doing it the same thing, next year.
And the consistency brings credibility too.
Exactly.
So,
So when they see that and they see you still, they're like, okay, she's still on the corner giving out them apples. Yeah. I mean, so guess what? They're going to come back and like, oh, she giving out them apples in October at the same time. They have this event, like that. Yep.
And I think that's good because the respect that you receive, I know that Avalon Village has its own security, just how much they stand beside you. They don't play about you. Mama Bashu is protected in the village, and I think that's good, and that comes with respect. People just seeing, like you said, you putting the work in, you're on that block, you're waving, you're speaking, you're boots on the ground, you're actually going to these events, you are live in person. People can actually say, hey, this is Mama Shu. A lot of organizations and their businesses, you don't know who's behind it. You don't know who the CEO or the founder is because they are just so hidden, but you are actually out in the community. You don't mind saying, hey, this is me. You go live all the time. I just see what you do, and you are very community oriented, driven. So I think that is so good that what you're doing, and the fact that you do things year round. It's not just at a particular time, like literally you're doing something year round. So I think that's great as well.
Thank you.
So who do you think would be your biggest inspiration?
Who would be my biggest inspiration? So I think I'm inspired by, and these ladies are ancestors right now.
Okay.
And they're like way before your time. But when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to listen to Martha Jean the Queen.
Okay.
And you might want to look her up and see the work that she did.
Sure
but I would listen, and she had this wooden studio. It was like a stereo. Miles, Miles, is Miles supposed to be on here? No, I'm sorry. I'm just talking.
He's like, no, my bad. No.
But anyway, these wooden studios back in the day, they were record players. And so I would hear the sound of Martha Jean the Queen. It was a certain time that she came on, and I just listened to the work and everything. When I was a little girl, that pounded in my head, just listening to her. And then another lady is Mother Waddles. Okay. You may want to look her up too. Those are some women who were doing some things in the community, big time. And I'm going to tell you this, that question that you just asked me, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I may not have been able to say it. But it just came to me when I'm sitting up here thinking, I'm like, and somebody asked me that, I'm like, whoa. And now it all started coming like, oh, this is where maybe this. And so what happened is that I guess my mind attached to that because it was repeated.
Exactly.
I heard them women repeatedly doing stuff, doing the car charity, and Mother Waddles doing the food and everything and all of that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I probably, I did subconsciously. I picked up on that.
And that just lets you know that what you consume yourself with, it will consume you. So whether that's good or bad. So definitely take the time to pay attention to what you are consuming, listening to, hearing, and are around.
And those ladies were consistent.
Yes.
Because I heard them all the time. They were they were consistent. Mother Waddle's still doing the thing.
Wow.
Well, not her, but, but still doing, the work is still out there.
Yeah.
The effects of the work, and it lives through people like me.
I love that. I love that so much. So, how do you get the concept for your events or things that you put on at the Avalon Village?
How do I what?
How do you get the concepts behind the different camps and or events that you have for the Avalon Village?
So a lot of that goes, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the stuff that I actually
be out of this world.
Oh my God. That's one of my favorite things to do is think of names of stuff. But I think that for me, it's things that I want in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just
good.
like, it is. It's like, just like the hood camp. So I'm 40 something. I'm like, I want to go outside and spend the night with the kids or whatever. And let's do this camp.
Yeah.
It's because I wanted to as a kid, but my mama didn't let us spend the night outside. We just didn't do that in the backyard. So by the time I get and so by the time when I'm getting grown, I'm like, and then I'm 40 something, whatever, like, come on, let's do this, kids.
Yeah.
And so boom, now we do it. And it's been 15 years later. So what I like to do is to create things that really I want more skills in and learn about and everything. And that it's almost like, I don't know. It's like maybe I'm some kind of kid or whatever inside or something. Because
I thought we never lose our true inner kid.
Right,
we just have to grow up and handle life. But it's still there.
I want the music camp and I want all that. And then also you see a lot of this stuff not being in your neighborhoods. And so the children are not having the experiences that I had long ago. But the names, really, to tell you the truth, I just think that I'm a creative person.
Yes.
Look, I do. And I just think that and I think of these sweet names of stuff and everything. And I know a lot of people, like my husband, he's the same way. And even Miles is like that too, because we've thought of some things. Yes.
The Wine and Wings got me.
The Wine and Wings. And we get ready to have a Wine and Wings festival. That's in wine tasting, all kinds of wings. That's happening in July. But that's what it is. And I always think, and because the thing about it is nobody wants a boring name.
Exactly.
And I think that when you think of a real catchy name, they be like, what did you think? How did you think of the Goddess Marketplace? What else? Hood Camp, Urban Survival for Today's Youth. What else? We do apple picking in the hood.
Apple, yes.
The movies.
The movies.
The Boovie Night.
Yes.
Boovie Night.
Yes.
Like who would so those are like real cute, quirky names. But to me, I also think that it draws and it intrigues people.
Does.
It's like,
it does.
What's a Boovie Night? Like, what's a hood camp? Let me come out and
see this. Yeah.
Yeah. What's a hood camp? What's a dope soap? What is that? What is DOAP?
Yes, the name behind it. Yes, dope girl, dope boy.
All of that.
Yes.
So what do those mean? Is I think people really, they come out to really see what those things are and to be involved in something different.
Yeah, and I feel like that's great. I know that caught me, and I went even the Street 16, like literally the names.
Street 16.
The names. I was like, okay, I gotta go. Just different things like that. It definitely draws you in. Even the flyers, they're so colorful.
Creatress Code. She be throwing down on our flyers. And guess what? And I'm gonna tell you something. And I love working with her. Name is Saida. It's my niece, but Creatress Code. She be doing her thing. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Me and her, I have a lot of involvement with the designs of the flyers.
I really thought you'd just be like, hey, you sit down with them, but you have an input. Wow.
She will bring something when I say this is what we want it to look like, because it's all about branding and everything. And I need for this to all look kind of the same type styles. And so when she does it, and even though we'll sit there and time to tweak the flyers. Yeah. We do our session and everything. And right when she's on there, she move it over to the left, for real. This is what we do. And then bam, it's done. So I don't know if that's micromanaging, but she likes it. We like that. That's our little session.
It's beautiful when a plan come together.
It's beautiful when a plan comes. So me and her, we work together well.
Yes. And shout out to Saida. Anything that I've needed down to where to park, where to go, where I'm supposed to be set up for the event, she handles all of that. She gets back to me promptly, and definitely a good asset to your team.
Yes.
So yes.
And shout out to my team, my whole team. Yes. We got a small and mighty team in Avalon Village. We do, man. I tell you, look, don't nobody get paid what they worth. One day it'll happen. I'll be like, look, can we, but guess what?
But that's quality over quantity.
But that's the thing.
And they're supposed to be there.
They're supposed to be there, and The thing about the village is that you really just got to love it.
Yes.
You got to love to be of service. You got to love to serve the children, the elders, and the people who come there, and just provide service. And you got to want to uplift the space that you live in. You got to want this. And so I'm just blessed to be able to have a team that actually like really has their, and it ain't like we just they working all total for free and everything. However, because everybody has their own beautiful thing that they do. Yes. But they've also been able to add their beautiful thing and make it work in the village. Yes. And that's what I really love about the team.
And I think that is so good. I think that we all need a team because it's very hard to do everything by yourself. I encourage you to get a team, get somebody that rocks with you, supports you, or just see the same vision that you have, because it's so easy to just feel like, hey, because this is my baby, this is my vision, I can do this all on my own. It will get overwhelming. It will get extremely challenging. And it's people out here that want to help you. So you don't have to do it alone, and don't ever feel like you are alone, because we are one big community and family. So just make sure you have those people in place to be able to bring you further. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So Mama Shu, can you tell people kind of where they can find you at, or just websites or just merch or anything like that? Okay. Where can we find you at? Sure.
So you can find us. We're on our website, first of all, is www.theavalonvillage.org, www.theavalonvillage.org. If you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, if you want to host an event or party or whatever it is, a gathering or conference, that's also available. You can go online and sign up for that as well. You can register for all of the camps that I mentioned. All of that is online. We have a social media presence on Instagram and also Facebook. So you're able to come and be part of our big family of 132,000 people that love our mission and what we're doing. We'd love to have you connect with us and follow us. And then, like I said, we're on Facebook as well.
Nice. Thank you so much, Mama Shu. And one more thing, I can't leave out of here without kind of touching on the homework house. Okay. I've been in there. It's such an inviting space. So what was the thought process behind the homework house, and kind of how did it get started?
So the thought behind the homework house was I did 27 years with the school system, first of all. Mm-hmm. And so you see a lot of things that children need that they lack. Homework not done. They may not have their whole uniform, may not have eaten a good breakfast, just any type of thing. You see this, no lunch. And so I'm sitting up here looking at this, every day in my working. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to get a house for the children and be able to service them in just one whole house, after school programming where they can take a shower if the gas or lights is cut off. That's they can iron their clothes. They can eat a meal, and also to help support maybe parents who are, unfortunately, some of them are incarcerated, mm-hmm. or parents, grandparents that are raising the children, just to be that extra, fill in the extra gaps for them. And so that's what the homework house is about, to make sure that educationally the children don't skip a beat. And then also around the time that we started to put the homework house together, the schools in Highland Park, Michigan, unfortunately, they were up under emergency management. Okay. They're not up under emergency management now, but they were. And so that's when I started. So our high school is tore down. We only have two schools, two K-8 schools. Okay. And so I'm like, you know what? I said, we need. And so here's the thing, though, Chantel. I'm sitting up there. We're building a village. When you go, anybody moves to a town, and especially if they're developing family and all mm-hmm. of that, they looking for where the children are educated. Yes. Where the kids at. Yes. And I'm telling you, if you're in a place and it ain't no kids, whatever, you need to run. Yeah. You need to run whenever it's something that's happening where the schools are disappearing and all of these things that nurture the children. You need to go away from that space. People are going back to kids. Exactly. So. And also, so where's all of that? Plus, it's the energy of them. Mm-hmm. It's like we need them. They're the ones who are, going to propel things in the future for us. And so if you don't have a place to nurture them, and it's all of this other stuff to destroy them, and for real, to just do bad by them.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things too, to build a nurturing space where the children can we have a STEM lab that was made out of a shipping container too. It's called the Imhotep STEAM Lab. We have the basketball court, all of those things. It supports everybody, but it's a space where children can actually come and just chill and get their homework done and everything. It took 5 years and some change to build that. So I got it done though.
I think that is so great. Well, Mama Shu, thank you so much for coming and taking the time out of your busy day to be a guest on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much. Everybody, I just want to encourage you that on today and every day, you are one step closer. And I will see you next week. And next week, we will have Tony Two Fingers right here at the table. So make sure you tap in next week, Thursday at 1 p.m. And I will see you guys later. Bye.
Peace.
One step closer. You got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you want to be in life. Why? You got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you want to be in life. Take one step at a time to reach your goal.